All right, let's just get right into it. Think about last night. That pizza you almost ordered, the rideshare you took when you could have walked, the fancy coffee before class. What if I told you those weren't just expenses? What if every single one of those temptations was actually an untapped asset you've just been letting slip through your fingers? We're going to break down a system that literally turns your self-control into actual compounding capital, and you can start today.
Seriously, let that sink in for a second. You are already doing the hard work. You use willpower every single day to fight off those little urges. But here's the thing, you've been getting zero return on that effort. This whole explainer is about showing you how to finally collect those payments. It's about realizing your discipline has a real, actual market value, and it's time you start cashing in.
And I mean that literally. This isn't some fuzzy self-help idea. We're talking about a direct financial transaction. A world where every time you close a food delivery app or skip an impulse buy, money actually moves from their pocket to yours. That's the system we're breaking down. It is so simple, it's immediate, and it can totally change your financial future. And the best part? You can start tonight.
Okay, so to really get the solution, we first have to get brutally honest about the problem. And it's a problem that for most students flies completely under the radar, but it could be costing you even more than your student loans. You know all about visible debt, right? You see those student loan statements and that number feels massive, kind of scary. But there's this other debt, this invisible debt, that's way more dangerous because it attacks you every single day in these tiny $5, $10, or $20 chunks. It's the daily coffee, the subscription you forgot you had, the takeout you order when you're just too tired to cook. Alone, they feel like nothing. But together, they compound into this massive drain on your future.
And you know what? This isn't just a feeling. We can actually put a number on it. Let's call it the discipline gap. It is the precise dollar value between the person you are right now and the person you keep saying you're gonna be. That $30 you spent on delivery instead of making pasta, that's not just a meal. That's a $30 widening of the gap between your present self and your future one. So let's make this real. Here's your first challenge. For the next 24 hours, I want you to run a craving audit. Just pull out the Notes app on your phone. Every single time you feel that pull to spend money on something you don't really need, just write it down. What was it? How much did it cost? And did you give in? The goal here isn't to be perfect. It's just about awareness. You're simply making the invisible visible. And trust me, you're probably going to be shocked at what you find.
And look, if that audit feels hard or if you see a long list, it's not because you lack discipline. It's because your brain is basically running on ancient software in a world that's changing every second. Let's dig into the biology for a minute. Your brain is fundamentally wired for a world of scarcity, a world that doesn't exist anymore. For thousands of years, its main job was to minimize effort and grab easy rewards to survive. But the world we live in now, with one-click purchases and instant food delivery, it doesn't just have abundance. It's built to actively hijack that ancient wiring. And the chemical at the very center of this whole thing is dopamine. Now, here's what everyone gets wrong. Dopamine is not the pleasure chemical. It's the anticipation chemical. It's the chemical of wanting, the motivation that drives you to pursue a reward. All those apps on your phone, they are designed to be dopamine farms, giving you that rush of pursuit without any of the real world's effort. And that is why valuable things like studying or saving money can feel so much harder than they should. So how do we fight back against this? Well, we don't. Instead of trying to fight millions of years of evolution, we're going to use it to our advantage. We're not trying to kill the craving. We're just going to attach a new, better reward to the act of saying no. We're going to short-circuit the old pathway and build a new one that pays you. So that's the theory. Now, let's get to the practice. This all comes together in a super simple 4-step system you can do in less than a minute. It's called the CDAR Loop. Okay, here's exactly how it works. Step 1, a craving arrives. This is automatic, it just happens, it's not a failure, it's the raw material we're gonna work with. 2, you decide. Just pause. Right before you hit that buy button, just take a breath. Make the unconscious choice conscious. 3, you act. You say no, you close the app. And 4, this is the most important step of all, you route. You immediately open a different app and you move the money. And I really cannot overstate this part. You absolutely have to move the exact dollar amount of the thing you just resisted into an investment account, right then and there, within 60 seconds. The exactness is the key. It sends a signal to your brain that the craving had a specific price, and your discipline just captured that exact value. Suddenly the reward isn't some fuzzy future goal, it's a real number in your account, right now.
Okay, so that's the system, but what does this actually look like day to day? How does skipping a boba tea actually translate into real life-changing wealth? Let's look at the numbers. This right here, this is the moment it all clicks into place. It's like this story I heard about a student, Priya. She was making decent money, but her net worth just wasn't going anywhere. Her turning point was this exact moment, a $31 food order. Instead of hitting confirm, she closed the app, opened her investment app, and deposited exactly $31. The next morning, the money was there. It was the first time she got an immediate, tangible reward for an act of self-control.
Now let's look at the math for you. Your daily habits are actually hidden assets. That $7 boba tea you skip a few times a week, the $15 rideshare you turn into a walk, that $25 late-night pizza. Look at these potential 5-year returns. We're talking thousands of dollars, not from getting a better job, but from simply redirecting money you were already about to spend. It's capital created purely from the willpower you've been using for free.
And if we zoom out, if you can find and redirect an average of just $24 a day, which probably sounds like a lot, but your 24-hour audit will show you exactly where it is, that's over $8,700 a year. Invested and compounded over 10 years, that could become over $130,000. Now, of course, investment returns are never guaranteed, but that's the power of this principle. It's staggering.
Okay, this is not something to start someday. The whole system is built on taking immediate action. The momentum begins with your very first deposit, and you can make it happen before you even go to sleep tonight. All right, here is your exact checklist for tonight. It's super simple. First, start that 24-hour audit we talked about. Second, find a low-fee micro-investing app and set up your account. It literally takes maybe 20 minutes. Third, link your bank account. And finally, number 4, find one craving tonight, and trust me, there is always one, and you run the CDAR Loop. Make your first deposit. It could be $5, it doesn't matter. That transaction is a statement. It's your first vote for your future self.
And to make this as easy as possible, you want an app designed for this. You're looking for something with basically zero fees that lets you buy fractional shares so you can invest those exact amounts and has instant deposits. Just do a little research, pick one that works for you, and get it set up. Removing that one little barrier is the key to getting started right away.
So here's the bottom line. The temptations, they're not going away. A craving will show up tomorrow, guaranteed. But from this moment forward, you know you have a choice. You can pay the cravings account, which gives you a tiny, fleeting reward and a 0% return, or you can pay your own account. You can turn that little moment of discipline into a compounding asset. The only thing that has to change is where you decide to route the money.
Subscribe, comment, share, and like the video.